he spelled out his plan for the economy if elected. Our reporter Alan Ochenda now joins us live for a discussion on what this tour meant, among other things. Good morning, Ochenda. It's good to speak to you. I trust you had a wonderful weekend, but of course it was a busy one for you. What are some of the issues that perhaps the Deputy President highlighted yesterday when he toured Bore and of course later in Makutano yesterday?
Well, George, as you actually rightly put it, it was quite a busy weekend for us here because this area really experienced a myriad of political activities here, where the Deputy President was here with his allies, and of course the takeaway from whatever he was actually saying is that they really need a national party, and of course his allies were quite blunt with their calls for persons who actually been leading the what they term as smaller parties in this region to actually just follow them and join the bandwagon of UDA. Actually, they are claiming that the smaller parties in the region are actually fragmenting the Mount Kenya region, of course, the Mount Kenya East region too, and it actually, they are saying it will go a long way in denting their negotiating power on the negotiating table come next year in the presidential race. But remember that we actually headed to a by-election in a ward called Kiagu here in Meru after its MCA Eunice Karege actually passed on some 3 months ago. And so next month on 14th, that will be actually on a Thursday, the residents of Kiagu ward will be heading to a by-election. Remember, we've seen several parties here fielding candidates, but curious of all is Chama cha Kazi Moses Kuria, who has actually declared his membership in the Hustler Nation, but he has gone ahead and fielded a candidate. But on Friday, the IEBC Elections Tribunal just disqualified his candidate, Milton Mwenda, from the race, actually saying that by the time he was being declared fit to run for that position, he was still listed as a state officer. Of course, he was actually listed as a worker, a staffer at the County Assembly of Meru here, because he was working in the office of the late MCA. And so by virtue of that, he actually went against the code of the IEBC, and so he was disqualified. I talked to Moses Kuria, the party leader of CCK, and he was actually quite emphatic, saying that his woes are actually coming right from the UDA party. Because remember that he's been a buddy of the Deputy President, but he's here accusing the UDA party that is, of course, led by the Deputy President, saying that they are actually behind his woes. They are the people who have actually engineered the disqualification of his candidate from the race. But the IEBC had given him 72 hours, and so he has latest today, 4 p.m., to fill an alternative candidate in the race. Also last week we saw the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Peter Munya, coming here. Yes, he has a party called PNU, he's the party leader, but he has not filled anyone for that position, saying that in the spirit of brotherhood with his pact with the ruling Jubilee Party, he will not be filling anybody, and so he's thrown his weight behind the Jubilee Party in the Kiagu ward election. So we're expecting that the race will actually be snowballing into something else, because we've seen in the recent past, the recent days, we've seen the civic by-elections have been actually catching the attention of the country. Remember the Muguga ward by-election, remember the London ward by-election, Ruire in Nyandaro. We saw the political bigwigs just trooping to those areas and ensuring that they actually entrench their ideologies, of course coming with their parties to those civic by-elections, and because actually those are the mashinani areas where they're actually expecting that their support should actually be starting from. And so we are expecting quite an epic political battle here, because Moses Kuria might by 4 p.m. actually just present another candidate, or maybe altogether decide to forfeit that race. But he was, when we talked last, he said his woes are actually originating from his association, of course from dissociation with the UDA party that's actually led by Deputy President William Ruto.
Ochanda, I was about to ask, because you brought up the Kiagu ward by-election, how is the political activity so far? Are we seeing any intense campaigns from those who are participating, the frontrunners in this by-election?
Yes, George, we've seen the lieutenants of the deputy president, especially the UDA party. We've seen the Senator of Meru, Mithika Linturi, really camping here. He's been here occasionally. We've also seen actually a civic by-election really attracting the CS for Agriculture, Peter Munya, who is actually coming here and just on his bait actually just promising. He even went ahead to promise the Kiagu residents of actually floodlights in that rural area. And so you can see the significance of this by-election, because remember there's been actually this notion that since the disintegration of the Jubilee Party, then we've seen the UDA party filling the void here. And so we've seen the UDA party sort of dominating this area. And so the other parties are actually just coming out to ensure they stamp their authority. Because remember, Peter Munya is the immediate former governor. He's actually the inaugural governor of Meru County. And so as the party leader of PNU, he decided to throw his weight behind President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party, who have a candidate there. And so to this end, we also saw a party called NOPEU that is actually associated with Iyala Member of Parliament. That is actually the East African Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament. That is Mpura Buri. We also had a candidate there, but has withdrawn him, by the name Nathan Gitonga. And so the race will actually be narrowing down to between the Jubilee candidate and, of course, the UDA candidate. And so remember that these have actually been the people from the same political formation, but they disintegrated immediately after the 2017 election. So to this end, yes, we have several candidates. We have independent candidates, but the epic political battle will be between the UDA and the Jubilee candidates in the Kiagu by-election.
Indeed, Alan Ochanda, thank you so much for that. He has been speaking to us on the Meru politics, the visit by the Deputy President over the weekend.